Hi everyone, how's it going? Today I wanted to show you how I created another classic game using Google Sheets. And for this game I actually made two different versions, one hard and one easy. Which for time's sake I'm only going to explain how I created the hard version and then I'll post how I created the easy one after that. The reason being that ironically the harder version of the game is actually simpler formula-wise. The game in question, you might ask, is none other than what I'm calling BattlCel, which is a blatant ripoff of the classic board game Battleship. Once again, this video is dedicated to one of my favorite subscribers whom way too long ago made the simple request for me to create a few games in Excel. And as a result, it has taken me forever to get back to them. But here I am doing it, so they can stop complaining. Not that they have been. But before I move on, I do need to ask for your help by remembering to please like and subscribe, share my videos with others, so that I may hopefully regain my monetized status here on YouTube by accruing a little more than 200 subscribers and way more than 200 hours of watch time. With your help, we might just be able to accomplish this. Okay, let's begin. So, for those of you who have never played Battleship, or I mean BattlCel before, it is a two-player game where the objective is to be the first person to successfully sink all of your opponent's ships by correctly identifying their locations on a 10 by 10 grid. Here, each player gets their own tab, which looks pretty much identical, broken up into 4 basic sections. In the upper left, you have the gameplay tracker and index, where it lists the 5 different ship types, whether you have placed all of yours, which ships of your opponents you have successfully sunk, and basically the turn order, i.e. the number of guesses each player has made. Below that you have the area where you will actually enter your guesses according to the grid in the upper right corner circled in red, starting with a letter ranging from A to J to indicate the row, followed by a number ranging from 1 to 10, which will indicate the particular column in this grid. Now, in hard mode, the upper right grid will either indicate a hit, a miss, or a question, or unknown, via a H, an M, or a question mark. In the easy version, the H has been replaced with the abbreviation for the ship you hit, giving you a slight advantage and additional information as you progress through the game. It's not a big difference, but it does make the formula a bit more complicated. So let's go back to the hard version. Now, below that grid, you have the area where you will actually place your ships, either horizontally or vertically. Please do not place them diagonally, and please do not split your PT boat in half, placing them anywhere on the board. They should all be adjacent, and unfortunately my little test up here does not check for adjacency. So please just try not to cheat. Okay, right, and then right next to it you have an optional grid which basically just shows you your opponent's progress combined with where you decided to put your ships. So here our opponent has only made 2 guesses. They've already hit the PT boat, but then they overshot it, basically, is what we know from this here. Okay, so let's start with the easiest section, the tracker. This is all hard-coded and is based off of the original game. Here we are counting the number of C's in our place your ships grid. So as long as there are 5 C's somewhere in this grid, it will come up as true. Otherwise, it will be a false. We do that 5 times for the 5 different ships, and then we count the number of T's. And if there are 5 T's, then this will indicate a true. It then looks at our opponent's E9 cell, and if that's true, then everyone is ready and the game can commence. As the game progresses, this counter counts the number of times that this ship plus the letter H for hit is produced in our opponents from here to here. So once the abbreviation for the ship plus H equals the number of cells that ship should take, then you have a sunk ship. Otherwise, it's still out there. And finally here, we are going to do a count the number of letter guesses in our tab, colon, number of letter guesses in our opponent's tab. And that gives us the number of turns. So you shouldn't see 7-2. They should always either be the same number or one should be one above. Okay, this is simply just this cell, ampersand, this cell, this you hard enter, this hard enter. To determine whether you actually hit something, we are going to do a offset function, which is like a powerful VLOOKUP, where we are going to start in the opponent's tab in cell I-18. So that's going, if we were looking at our opponent's tab, it would be right here. And then we are going to go some number of rows down and so many columns over. To determine how many rows down from the X here, we need to match the letter that we entered here, A, and we need to see how many rows down here until we hit A. And of course, A is the first letter of the alphabet, so it's just going to be a 1. This is just going to produce a 1, and it has to be an exact match. That's what the 0 is for. The column is a lot easier because we are labeling how many columns over using a number. So we don't have to use the match function. We can just use whatever number you enter. So this could be a 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. It could be 100, but then the function would crash somehow. So just keep it between 1 and 10. So if we went, starting from here, we went 1 down and 1 over, we would be here. Of our opponent. Our opponent didn't put anything. Actually, our opponent did put something here. Our opponent started over here. So we were right. That's why this is a hit, and that's why this says hit. This last part, if error, basically, if we didn't put a letter here, this would come out as an error, and instead of writing out error in all of these cells indefinitely, we're just going to put double quotes here so that it prints out nice and clean. So basically this column does all the hard work for this table. It's going to do a VLOOKUP, this cell, this row, this column, using this as an index. It's just a VLOOKUP, right? It's just this plus this. So there's A1, and then in this range, and we're going to go 4 columns over, which gives us an H. And that's how we got all these. And if we haven't entered anything in here, of course, it's going to be a question mark. So I'm just going to pause right now and show you. So this is what the formula looks like in hard mode. And this is what the formula looks like in easy mode. So you can see it's a lot more complicated. We can't just use this column here. Okay, great. This was all hard-coded, so we don't have to worry about that. In here, we're going to first enter what we put in here. So we're going to start with J19. So this cell, J19, it'll make sense. But then we need to do a VLOOKUP of this letter and this, but on player 2's tab in the range BH to E103. So yeah, it's just merging what we put followed by what they know using a VLOOKUP, and that's what gives us this table. I did conditional formatting, conditional format. if it equals sunk, then make it green background with red letters, otherwise white letters with black background. Did that here, did all the same here. It's really simple. Okay, so that, I guess, is all that I need to share. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Like I said before, please like and subscribe to my channel and my videos. Please watch them all the way through. It will help me to one day get remonetized, which would be awesome. But if you really want to help me out more immediately and more directly, then I would suggest following any one of these links and helping yourselves to a free bank or brokerage account. All of these brokerages offer a promotion where you sign up and you get a free stock, at least one free stock, and I'll get a free stock. And with these banks here, which are both FDIC insured, by the way, we'll actually get money, or in the case of Yotta, we'll get lottery tickets, all just for subscribing. And they're all great deals. I have accounts with all of these, and especially with Webull here, where you actually get more than one free stock. It's a great opportunity, so just maybe check them out. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know if you have any questions or comments, and stay tuned for my explanation of easy BattlCel. Thanks, bye.